Okay, so I think that my data on my phone is pretty low because I tried recording 4 times last night and I couldn't record past like 20-21 minutes. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. If not, then I'll do a part 2 before I go to sleep. So, I thought that I was having a really bad day yesterday. Um, I had a night terror the night before last, and I woke up in a really bad mood. Um, I went after packing up all my stuff. I went to. Sorry, I just washed my hair, so it's not really cooperating with me, and I usually have it pulled back. So, but anyways, I went to charge my phone before heading into town, and I called because I couldn't remember what time my med eval was, or my med intake was. So whenever I called, she informed me that it's this coming Monday and not yesterday. So that just fed even more into my depression because my night terror, it, not only did it put me in a bad mood, but it fed even more into my depression. And then that, but um, I did get a call this morning whenever I was just waking up, and I was having some bleeding issues, not the regular monthly stuff, and it always seems to come around whenever I'm really stressed out. And so my doctor had me uh, do a test to check for like microbleeding. She said that if there is any microbleeding, it could be colon cancer, but it came back negative, so I don't have to worry about that. I looked. I have been diagnosed with some back issues like spinal cord and spine issues and everything about 6-7 years ago, and finally today I like looked it all up, and I'm falling apart. Just I don't know what to do, and like all of it is genetic. Um, I'm not supposed to be lifting anything heavy or carrying anything heavy. I'm not supposed to go on long distant walks, and I'm not supposed to jump. I'm not supposed to run. I'm not supposed to do push-ups. I'm not supposed to do a lot of stuff. And the sad thing is that for me, walking really isn't that big of a deal because a lot of places people be like, "Oh, that's so far away. Take the bus, or I'll give you a ride." And I'm like, it's really not that far, you know. And but yeah, I just I woke up in a better mood today, especially after getting that call from my doctor's office. Um, and then looking everything up, it explains like a lot of numbness in my legs and parts of my toes, and why my arm keeps feeling like it's going to sleep. Whenever I was on my way to the Salvation Army today, this lady, she was at the bus stop waiting with me, and you know, I've got my big old bag, and I went to the free store, and because I was looking for a pillow for my tushy, because I'm always sitting on. It's like the only places that I can sit that have cushion on their chairs is the library, the bus, and the Salvation Army chairs. So everything else is like super hard, and because I've lost so much weight, I mean, I think I have maybe 7 more pounds, and I will have lost 100 pounds. It's taken me. about 8 years to lose, but it's down. I mean, you can kind of tell because of the loose skin under my. But yeah, I was having a lot of hip and joint issues whenever I was heavier, anyways. But now that I did all this research, it wasn't just my weight, it was also my spine and my spinal cord. So, um, I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty good day. I've been staying away from all those Ingrids uptown. Um, Now that the resource center, because at first, whenever I first started going there, we had to turn off our electronics and hand them in. We couldn't have our phones with us, and I don't know why they changed the rules, but I went in Monday and they were like, oh, you can have your phone on you and just have it on vibrate or silent, and if you watch movies or whatever, listen to music, just make sure that you got headphones or earplugs or whatever in. And I was like, okay, cool, I was like, y'all got Wi-Fi? And she's like, no. So I still go to the library because there's things that I'm researching and trying to connect with people. And I really need excuse me, it's like a mixture of burps and acid reflux. I need some milk. Anyway, so, and I like the library. I mean, I've noticed, because where I was sitting in the library, I didn't really notice that many homeless people. And I'm not just talking about homeless people that sleep on the streets. I'm talking about homeless people that stay at um, shelters. The women's shelter here, they have like maybe 18 rooms, and unless you're a family, you have to share a room, and it's short term. Like, they expect you to have a job or looking for a job, and I literally cannot. It, well, I've already gone through all of that, and I don't want to go through it again because it is a trigger. I'm talking about triggers. I think I already talked about this. I might have talked about it last night before my phone was like, can't connect to media, whatever. But my triggers, besides disrespect of any kind towards anybody, whether I know you or not, it pisses me off. And if you're doing it in public, don't tell me to stay out of your business and stay in my lane and mind my own business, because you brought it out in public. So it is my business, and I will stand up and I will say something. I don't care who's in the wrong or who's in the right. It doesn't matter. Disrespect of any kind on any level just really it, and some other of my triggers are like employment. It's teammate, team player, teamwork, family, and lead by example, because leading by example doesn't work. And I've only, out of all the jobs that I've had, and I've had in my lifetime, I've had over 40 jobs. Um, it's just how it is with me. Um, and I think out of all the jobs that I've had, there was only like two, maybe three, but that's pushing it, where we actually worked as a team and we worked together, and lead by example actually did work. Everybody else, or all the other places, no. But I mean, you got to think about it. Whenever I was growing up, I was raised as an only child. My dad, he had two children with his wife, and my baby brother, he has passed away. He passed away whenever he was 28, so that would have made me 35. So it's been 12 years that he's been gone this November, and that's all my fault. I mean, I wasn't there, I wasn't around, I was in a different state, but it's still my fault. If I had chosen whenever I had the chance to die, I had a choice, either die or go to jail. And I had told somebody whenever I was little that I was going to go to jail. And I had that choice, and I should have chosen death, and my brother would still be here, because I was 28 whenever I had that choice, and my brother, he was 28 whenever he passed. So, yeah, that's a little difficult to deal with, and I'm having to deal with it on a daily basis, just for the simple fact that I can't stop not thinking about him. But anyway, so, yeah, growing up, the longest that I was ever in one school, because, like, every school season I was in a different school. Every school year, different school. And the longest I was ever in one school was 4.5 years, and that was at a boarding school. And the longest that I've ever been in one state is Kansas. The longest that I've ever been in one city, town, whatever, is where I am now. The longest that I ever lived at one residence was 5 years, 4 months. The longest that I ever had a job was 4.5 years. And the longest relationship I've ever been in is the one I am with my man in Ohio. And that'll be 8 years in January. So I can't say that I really don't follow through on things. It's like I'm so used to not having that stability, not knowing what I don't know how to explain it. I feel like such a failure, because I can never stick to anything. I'm never good at anything. I always wanted to be like a National Geographic photographer. I thought that would be fun, but every single time somebody would ask me, what do you want to do whenever you grow up? Oh, I don't know. Oh, no. But I did. I didn't want to be like a freelance photographer that sold my pictures to National Geographic. I actually wanted to work for National Geographic as a photographer. And I also wanted to get something published, and I did. I wrote a children's book. A is for Alex. And I remember a majority of it, but not all of it. And my brother, he had like some mad drawing skills, and I taught to him, and he was, because he's part of the family and close to his nephew and everything. And we talked about it and everything. I just never gave him my written script, manual, whatever it is, draft. And so that never happened. And then I was at a NAMI meeting, and they were like, well, if you know somebody who draws, then have them draw it and just put in memory of. And I thought about it, and I did ask somebody who also has some mad drawing skills, but it didn't feel right. It was supposed to be something that my brother did for me. Anyway, Oh my gosh, I missed it last night all because my phone wouldn't record it. I mean, there were helicopters, there were police, there was fire engines. I mean, it was crazy. And I was praying, whoever's having issues, just be with them, Lord, protect them. And, if they are injured, just, you know, give the doctors the know-how to fix them. But took a sink bath tonight. And I don't know what it is. I was getting really good at it. Like it would take me less time to take a sink bath than it would take a shower, but for some reason I think it was because I used two different types of soaps today. One has like a pH balance for the feminine areas, and I wanted to try that out and see how it worked. I found it at Dollar Tree, and it smells really good and everything, but we'll see. If it starts making me itch or something, I'm going back to my regular soap and my regular way of cleaning. I think that's why it took me longer tonight. I don't know. For some reason, whenever I left the bathroom, I was like really, really scared to walk down the path. I usually don't have any fears, but like after everybody left from practice, because it the sunset's starting earlier, so one of the fields they had the lights on until practice was over, and everybody's usually out of here by 8:30, and I was still charging my phone a little bit because I always give a little extra time just in case, someone's at like the far end of the park, or um, there are people that like to come down and like do drag racing and stuff. So um, I just kind of chill for like 15-20 minutes afterwards, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, but I've been having hallucination issues anyways because of my mental illnesses. And um I saw this guy, and he had like this thing that had a light, and I think it was like a radio or something because I could have swore I heard like music or talking or something. And he was walking towards my direction. He wasn't that close, but it still kind of freaked me out. I don't know why. I mean, I really haven't been scared since I've been out here, but and so I listened for him. I mean, I watched him for a little bit to walk away, and it looked like he was coming on the path. And I glanced at my phone. This is why I think it was a hallucination, because I glanced at my phone to see how much more I needed to charge, and I turned around and he was poof gone. So he either walked super fast up a hill or he was a hallucination. But in the morning, 7 more days, and I'll be on my meds, and then hopefully everything will just start settling down in my head and I won't have any more hallucinations. But I'm getting close to 20 minutes, so I need to go ahead and wrap this up because yeah, I don't want my phone to can't connect to media and then try again. I was so annoyed last night. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful evening. Um, be kind, especially to people that you don't know. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what issues they're having or what they're facing or dealing with. So, just love each other. You don't have to you, you don't need to leave comments, and you definitely don't have to subscribe. This isn't for notoriety and pay and plaques and all that. So, anyway, alrighty. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow night. You have a wonderful night. Don't know you, but I love you.